my side. But when you have any question, you can unmute the mic, and instantly if you want to unmute the mic, simply press and hold the space bar. Getting my point? Try once, press and hold, and you can speak. But before this, to avoid confusion in between or to avoid interruption in between, what you can do, you can just raise the hand, and raise hand option you can find under React. At the bottom, you'll find the option zoom options. Can you able to see that options? Under that, find React. Click on React. In that, you can find raise hand option. Once again, at the bottom strip in zoom settings, or it may be on the top, you'll find the React option. And click on the React, you'll find raise hand option. Try once. Yeah, everyone. So when you have any question, please raise the hand so that I can stop and we can able to discuss. Okay. And simply if you just unmute the mic and start asking me, that may create confusion to others. Okay, so simply what you do when you have any question, please raise the hand so that I can stop and I can get back to you. Okay, now you can lower the hand. No, don't use any other symbol. Use only raise hand option. Don't use the like or clap, etc. Use only raise hand option. You'll find the separate button at the bit in between raise hand option. Okay. So when you have any question, please click on the raise hand option so that we can discuss. Okay. And allow me to complete the topic so that you'll get the clear idea. Still, if you have any confusion, we can discuss. Don't worry. Okay. So let me start the session. Yeah, I'm going to mute all participant mic from my side. When you have any question, you can raise the hand and unmute. Okay. So hello everyone. I think remember in the last session, we learn what are the topics is going to learn in this training program. Means I'm talking about the syllabus. Okay. We learn the designing module and the other modules. Okay. And you know this in design module one, HVC design module one, we have total 5 parts. Okay, so let me start part one, and the part one, HVC design basics. And I request everyone, don't ignore this HVC design basic even if you are experienced, because a lot of information in this basic which will help at the time of designing, especially chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, etc. Okay, so even if you have if you have experience, so I request to please focus on this topic, because I'll take the reference of this chapter 1 to 5, which is under part 1 for the HVC design basics, till the end of this training program. Okay, so part by part we'll discuss. So part 1 is for chapter 1 to 5. Okay, so as we discussed in the previous session, but quickly let me give you the same. So on the screen you can find out here, you see part 1 is HVC design basics, which consists of chapter 1 to 5. Okay, so I'm supposed to start this part 1, HVAC basics, and under this you'll find chapter 1 to 5. Okay, so in today's session I'm going to start this chapter 1, and quickly for you, you see chapter 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 all belongs to part 1 of module 1. Okay, and I believe you already received these notes, the registered candidates, and you can go through this also after the class of this all topics of chapter 1 to 5. Okay, so on screen now, so let me start this chapter 1, introduction to HVAC. So as I said in the previous session also, we designed this training program right from basic to advanced level. Okay, so if you have experience, so for the basics, please bear with me, let the fresher learn this basics, because understanding this basics is very important, especially for beginners, or else they'll get confusion throughout this training program. So if you already know what is HVAC, what is MEP, what is on the heating required for ventilation, purpose of ventilation, or the definition of air conditioning, all this if you know, please bear with me. So let the other people, those are beginner, can learn this one. Okay. Anyhow, if you experience, you can refresh this. This will help you again for means to get more points. Okay. If any new points you can absorb. Okay. So on screen, chapter 1, introduction to HVAC, and this can be the first expected question at the time of interview. They may ask, what is HVAC? Even for the experienced participant, they may start with this question only, what is HVAC? So you should have the clear idea about what is HVAC. Anyhow, we are talking about this HVAC training program, so obviously you must know or you must learn this HVAC in detail, right? So at least at the beginning, the definition, the terms, etc., so that I can expand with the different modules or different parts in this training program. Hope you're getting my point online. You can unmute the mic once and reply.
Yes, yes,
So starting classes, I'll be more interactive with you so that if any disturbance from my side or any background issue or any noise issue or any disconnection or any delay in the screen and my video, please let me know. I'll give you the solutions, okay, as per my previous batch experiences. Okay. And I request to please maintain minimum 10 Mbps speed. Mm. And if you're using Wi-Fi, make sure that you are sitting close to the Wi-Fi with your laptop, or else wire connection is recommended to get the full speed, because in Wi-Fi you may not get the full speed. Anyhow, we are getting the enough speed in the market in present world. So if you're getting any delay in the screen or the video or the audio, so I request to please check the network connection first from your side. Okay. Can I proceed online?
yes, yes, yes,
And you see, you people are in live online session, so take the full advantage of this, and try to be more interactive. And if you have any question, just don't hesitate to ask. Just raise the hand. We can discuss. And in chapter 1 to 5, if you have the clear idea about chapter 1 to 5, that will help you for the other parts also. Because as I said, na, this is a very basic and very important. Okay. Because I'll take the reference of this chapter 1 to 5 till the end of this training program. So if you have any question, don't hesitate. Simply raise the hand and you can ask. Okay, because this is the advantage of this live online compared with the video course. In video course also we are offering the option for the this WhatsApp group. In the WhatsApp group you can ask, raise the question, but that will take some delay. But in live online, quickly you can ask the questions, and most of the participants join live online for that reason, because rest of the thing is same in the video recorded course also, right? So take the full advantage of this instead of just listening or just uh, watching reels on the mobile, or just or sometime the people sleep also. That's the reason we ask you to switch on the video so that we can monitor. Okay. But you people are not the school candidates, so you have their own you are responsible people. So take the responsibility of this and focus in the class, and don't divert yourself from this session, because all these points are very important. Okay. So you already have the reason why you're in this session and what you're going to learn, that we already discussed. So with this information, let me start. So chapter 1 is introduction to HVAC. Okay. So first we'll learn what is HVAC. But before this, many engineers, especially beginners, they have confusion. They know they have confusion between the difference of MEP and the HVAC. And yesterday also given some information related to this, but quickly let me give you the idea, especially for beginners. Okay, so you see, MEP stands for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. Okay, and under mechanical you will find the HVAC, and E stand for electrical, and B is for plumbing, and even the firefighting also part of plumbing, but not completely. So all these services, HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and firefighting, in short, together we used to call MEP, or building services. So if you're dealing with HVAC, means you're learning the major part of MEP. So HVAC is not a separate from MEP. MEP, HVAC is a part of MEP. Okay. And if you talk about the Revit MEP is a software which is used to design this MEP or this building services using that software from Autodesk. Okay, so if you know the MEP, if you know the services, if you know the HVAC and all other services, then you can use the Revit MEP software to design that. So Revit is the next level. Okay, so without learning all the services, you cannot deal with the Revit. Anyhow, Revit we are offering as a separate course. Just for information, I have given this information. And if you are willing to make your career in design side, then I recommend Revit also. But if you are thinking to work on site, or in sales or in estimation, etc., then that Revit basic course is enough, which we are offering free on our website. But if you want to continue your, or if you want to switch to design, or if you want to make a career in design side, then after completing these courses, I recommend to go for the Revit also, Revit MEP. Okay. So I think there is no confusion between MEP, HVAC and Revit. If you have any confusion, let me know, because starting classes is very, very important. If you have any confusion related to this field or this services or this terminology, you must clear at this level only, because all the time I'll use this terminology for the entire course. So any questions online related to this services or this the difference between HVAC, MEP or Revit MEP? Yes, especially beginners. No confusion. Can I proceed?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you can proceed, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So you see, in short, we used to call HVAC. It's a heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. And as I said, now this can be the first expected question at the time of interview. So you must know why the need of this heating, the purpose of ventilation, and the definition of air conditioning, and what are the parameters to maintain this air conditioning. Okay, so you see, HVAC is a technology and system used to provide thermal comfort. Thermal comfort as a mechanical or as an engineer, you can understand thermal related to this heat. Okay, and the indoor air quality in various environment. Indoor air quality is also very, very important for human comfort. We'll discuss more about this indoor air quality at the time of defining the V, ventilation. Okay, so it's involved regulating temperature. You see the parameters. The first parameter is temperature. You need to increase the temperature or decrease the temperature as per the requirement. Increasing temperature, in winter, because the outside temperature is less, as per the comfort temperature. And what is comfort temperature also will discuss, don't worry. And we are going to decrease the temperature in summer, because the heat transfer from outside to inside. So first parameter is the temperature. Next is the humidity. At this level, if you don't know what is humidity, don't worry, we'll discuss in detail in chapter 4 at the time of psychometry. But most of the participant belongs to the mechanical or electrical engineering side, so they know what is humidity. If you don't know, quick information for you. Humidity is nothing but the moisture present in the air. But we have a specific humidity, we have relative humidity, we have different terms used related to humidity. We'll discuss in chapter 4. At this level, just try to get the basic idea what is HVAC. Okay, so humidity is nothing but the moisture, and how the moisture is related to human comfort, that also we'll discuss in chapter 4. Don't worry, because in one class I cannot explain everything. And this service is like an elephant. Okay, so we cannot eat that elephant in one day, but definitely we can eat part by part. But one day we can complete that eating elephant part by part. Okay, just as example, I'm not asking you to eat the elephant. Just I think you're getting my point, right? So just what you do, the process of learning is learn what I'm explaining. At this level, if you are thinking for the entire concept, or if you are trying to get the entire concept, you cannot get. Okay, because this is not just a simple thing. No, a lot of things involved in this. Okay, so if you focus on the present topic, that present topic will help you to understand the next topic. Likewise, you can complete the link, and you can complete the chain. And design is like a chain. You need to complete all the links. Okay, so learning also important. So for learning, patience is very, very important. And focus on the present topic. Don't think for the entire system. At this level, you cannot understand the entire system if you are a beginner. Okay, suppose if you want to understand the entire furniture arrangement of first floor, and you are on the ground floor, you need to complete all the steps now. And after completing the steps, when you are on the first floor, you can able to understand the arrangement of the furniture. Okay, so like this, step by step. Okay, so humidity is nothing but just a moisture present in there. The more about this humidity you'll find in chapter 4 in part 1. Okay, at this level, humidity means the moisture present in the air, and this is also important for human comfort. And you see the air circulation to create the comfortable and healthier living or workspace. Air circulation also important. If you're maintaining the temperature, humidity, everything, but the circulation of air is not comfortable, or if you not maintain the required velocity in the space, and as per standard, if you maintain the velocity less than 25 fpm. Okay, fpm is a feet per minute, is a velocity, unit of velocity. At this level, it is a new term, but don't worry, at the time of part 4 8 system, you'll get more in detail. So you need to maintain the proper circulation also with the required velocity, not less than 25 fpm minimum. Okay, and healthier living for the workspace. Okay, so the major parameter you see temperature, humidity, circulation of air. Apart from this, noise and other parameter also that you'll find in the next page. HV systems are commonly used in homes and commercial building, industrial facilities, and vehicles to maintain optimal condition for the occupants and process. In short, I can say HVC system is used in residential, commercial, and industrial project, almost in everywhere, right? Even in vehicles also, you'll find the car air conditioning. So in present world, in almost all the applications, you'll find the requirement of this HV system. Okay, so you can understand the scope of this field. Okay, in buildings, definitely you'll find this service. Apart from this, in the industrial also, you'll require this. In commercial also, it's required this. Even in automobile also, it's required this. Okay, so it's a very big scope or big field for this. Okay, so this is just a general information. But what is HVAC? We'll define in the next page. Don't worry. But when you talk about this HVAC service, which comes under this building services or MEP, you need to follow the standards. Because you see, we are living in the modern world now, and if you are designing something, and if you want to get the approval for that, you must follow some standards. You must follow some condition which is international, which is accepted either by the society or the authority or the government or to whom you are going to serve. Okay, so for that we are following some standards. Okay, and the standard is from ASHRAE. And ASHRAE is a American Society for Heating, Refrigeration and Air Conditioning Engineers, and this society deals with the research and development for this HVAC-R, HVAC including refrigeration. If you're working in UK, you are supposed to follow SIPC. If you're working in like Australia or New Zealand, you're supposed to follow IRA, etc. But mostly in many countries, you can find this ASHRAE because ASHRAE is a standard society, based in US. Okay, so we'll discuss more about this. So you see, not only for this HVAC, even if you're dealing with the plumbing, you need to follow IPC, or in firefighting NFPA, or electrical NEMA, etc. Because we are living in modern world, so you are supposed to follow the standards which is globally or which is internationally accepted, so that your project will accept. Okay, and in this training program also, we are following ASTRA standard, carrier standards, SMACNA standards, ASTM, etc. Okay, so that when you design, your design will accept. Anyhow, as I said in the previous session also, it is not possible to cover all the standards in this 3 months training program, or it's not possible even to complete all the applications in this 3 months training program. So focus more on the concept, and we are following the international standards for this training program. But in actual practice, you are supposed to follow any other standard that you can do with the concept. Okay, so focus on the concept, you can able to deal with the different standards or even different applications. Okay, so don't limit yourself, try to understand the concept learning is very important in this building services, not only in HVAC, even for other services also. Concept learning is important so that you can serve as per the application, you can design as per the requirement. If you know how to design, then you need to learn what to design, then you can able to design as per the requirement. For example, in this training program, we are taking example for the for office project or for school project or hotel project, etc. But in actual practice, if you get any other application, in that case, you need to get the information from Ashtray application handbook. So I'll teach you how to design. So learn how to design with a few examples or with a few applications, and focus more on the concept. And at the time, and we are offering this concept based training not only for this HVAC, even for other services. So we are focusing more on the concept, so that as per the requirement. You can learn the different application requirement from ASHRAE application handbook, and you can able to design as per the requirement. Okay. So you see, ASHRAE standards stands for what? American Society of Heating, Refrigeration and Air Conditioning Engineers. It's a society based in US dealing with the research and development for HVACR. Okay, and we'll discuss more about this ASHRAE, like ASHRAE standard 62, 62.1, or ASHRAE 55, etc. We have different standards to follow in this training program also, and what are the different list of standards for ASHRAE, that also we'll discuss in between. Okay, next. Yeah, any questions here online before moving to the next topic? Hope you're getting my point.
Yes.
You see,
Yes.
if you want to
Yes, sir.
extract more from this training, your response is important. Okay, or else I'll follow the notes, I'll follow the syllabus. But if you want to extract more, then your interaction will help to get more. If you ask, then I can provide more, because everything is difficult, na? So I'm following as per the notes. Okay, yeah, Mr. Shakib.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, this Ashray and Isray have both same standard codes or different, sir?
You see, Ishre belongs to India. So most of
Yeah,
the
Isray.
most of the information is taken from Ashre only, but as per the Indian climatic condition. Like if you talk about weather, in Ishre you'll find the weather information related to India, but in Ashre you'll find globally. Okay, and some changes in Ishre as per the Indian climatic condition or Indian application requirement. So that says, and you see, again, concept learning is important. Hmm. Because in actual practice, you may use Ishre, or you may use SIPSI, or you may use IRA, etc. Okay, so once you know the concept, you can able to use any standard. If you know how to use the standard, for example, heat gain through people, we can get from career handbook, or we can get from ASHA handbook. If you know how to get this, you can able to get from any other handbook. Okay, clear online,
Yes. Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Shakib? Yeah. You see, starting classes, if you have any question, just ask and be clear before starting the actual topics. Okay. Can I proceed? And starting class is going to
Yes, sir.
be basic only and somewhat slow. After that, I'll just go in a uh, moderate speed, so that I can cover all the participants. Next, home and comfort standard. If you talk about home and comfort standard, here we have ASHRAE 55 standards. Remember this, may ask in interview. The ASHRAE 55 standard is for human comfort standards. And according to human comfort standard, you'll find the separate PDF for this. That much detail is not required. What is required, I have added in the notes. But if you want more, you can go through once for ASHRAE thermal ASHRAE 55, this human comfort standards. But according to this ASHRAE 55 human comfort standards, you see, you'll find some information related to the standard temperature. First, we'll talk about the standard temperature, which we'll use in our training program also. Then you'll find the list of temperature as per application or as per the activity also. Okay. So first of all, you see this part on the right side is taken from, 1 minute, let me adjust this first. Yeah, this part is a part of psychometry. And I believe as a mechanical or as an electrical engineer, everyone knows psychometric chart, at least the visibility of that, how it is visible. Right? If you don't know how to read, don't worry. We'll discuss in chapter 4 in detail. And that is also, or we can say the psychometry is the heart of this HVAC design. Okay. Without that, it is difficult to deal with the load calculation or the design of HVAC. But at this level, you know how the psychometry, is psychometric chart, na? You want me to show you the preview? Okay, quickly. You see. Can you find the psychometric chart on screen online?
Yes. Yes.
You see, sleeping is not allowed. Please respond to my questions. You see, this is psychometric chart, and this is in land portrait mode. We generally will use in the landscape mode. At the time of using, we'll use. Don't worry. But now back to the topic. Here, if you talk about this thermal comfort, this part, let me zoom on screen. You see, this part is a part of the psychometric. This portion, this right side picture is a part of taken from psychometric chart. Okay. You see, here you can find out the 60, 65, etc. These are drivable temperature. And this curved line represent RH, relative humidity. And still, if you have confusion in RH, dry bulb, wet bulb, etc., don't worry. As I said, na, we cannot eat the whole element in one class. So piece by piece. So if you are not getting, don't worry. At this level, just try to get the information about this chart and this temperature. That's it. Okay. So this chart, this part is a part. This picture is a part of psychometric, taken from a psychometric chart. So now you see here this hatching portion. I'm just writing this point. Say point 1, 2, say 3, 4. This hatching portion is referred to the comfort condition for summer and winter. How exactly? You see, increase in x direction is for temperature, and this curved line represents RH. And remember, for human comfort, the major two parameter is the temperature and RH, relative humidity. Temperature you can understand, because feeling hot or feeling cold, according to that we can increase or decrease the temperature. But RH, relative humidity, that also important for human comfort. But how exactly, we'll discuss in chapter 4. So you see, at this level, the as per ASHRAE thermal this comfort 55, the standard conditions. So here you see this winter hatching from 1 to say A, and this summer is from B to 2. So you see 1 to A is for winter, and say B to 2 is for summer. You can find here this portion is for winter, this is for summer, na? So you see 1 to A, the temperature range is what you can find out here, 74 to 82. You see, when I just drop this line, you can find, sorry, my mistake, first winter, you see 68 to 76. So when you just drop this line from the starting of winter, this I can consider 68 na, because you see 65 and before 70, 68, 60 is a starting, and end you see at A is nearly 76, right? So the winter comfort temperature range is 68 to 76 for human comfort. I'm not talking about process control. I'm not talking about any industrial site. At this level, I'm talking about human comfort, because this ASHRAE standard 55 is for human thermal comfort. So 68 to 76 is the range for winter. Similarly, you see from B, you see B start from 74. You can drop, you can find this close to 74, and end at what? Nearly 82. So this 74 to 82 is a range for comfort in summer. Following this point online?
Yes.
And
Yes.
what about the RH? You see, this line is for 30%. This line is for 60%. In between, you'll find 50% also. So you see, 30% line is passing for winter as well as summer, 50% also in winter and summer range, even 60% also you see in the range for winter as well as for summer. So that's the reason for both the season, the RH range is 30 to 60. And for standard for standard calculation point of view, we are considering 50% standard. We'll use this value at the time of calculation for mean comfort. So remember, RH value 50% is standard in calculation, but 30 to 60% also accepted, because this is in the range. So we got the two major parameter condition, temperature and RH, from where? From ASHRAE comfort zone chart 2001 handbook, or even in the latest handbook also you'll find the same. This is not different. Okay, and this is from ASHRAE standard 55. Remember this, may ask in an interview. And remember, at the time of designing, RH we are considering 50% as standard for both the season, and temperature for summer we are considering 76 as standard. You see 74 to 82 we are considering average, say 76, and for winter we are considering 72 as standard. Okay, you see 68 to 72 we are taking average as 72, and 74 to 82 we are considering average as 76. In some console will take 75 also, that also in the range. But in this training program, I'm considering this as standard temperature for load calculation. Okay, this may vary as per the home and clothing or as per the application also in home and comfort that you'll find in the next table only. Okay, but I'm considering this two as a standard and this RH for both the season for learning point of view in this training program. Any questions online before moving to next?
What is LH, please, sir?
No.
Pardon?
What is LH?
RH, relative humidity. But if you don't know what is relative humidity, don't worry. We'll discuss in chapter 4 in detail. Okay. Relative humidity, specific humidity, humidity ratio, dry bulb, wet bulb, dew point temperature, all these properties we'll discuss in chapter 4 before starting the load calculation. Don't worry. At this level, just remember RH is required 50% for human comfort and the range is 30 to 60. That's it. How exactly we'll discuss in chapter 4. Don't worry. Okay, piece by piece. Getting a point online?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Sarath.
Sir, in case if RH is coming is more than 60%, what will be the problem? Now the range is 30 to 60 for
Okay.
selecting the day.
Anyhow,
In
this
case if
point,
it
yeah, got your point. You see, anyhow, this point also we'll discuss in chapter 4, but quick, I'll give you the idea. If the RH is more than the limit, you'll feel suffocation. And if the RH
okay,
is less than the limit, you'll find dryness of skin.
okay,
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 but don't worry. This is very, very important because you see, these two major parameters, one is temperature and one is RH. So we'll discuss in detail at the time of chapter 4. Okay, at this level, these are the standards you need to memorize for interview point of view as well as at the time of designing, we'll use this. But before starting the designing, we'll discuss in detail about these properties. Don't worry. Chapter 4. That's the reason
okay.
again I'm repeating this chapter 1 to 5 is the foundation, is the base for this HVC design. Okay. Even if you're experienced, please don't ignore this because this is very, very important. Next. Any more questions online? Just ask the question is related to present topic, I'll answer, or else I'll give you the reference when we are going to discuss this. Okay. Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next, you see the table again is taken. This table is again taken from Ashtray Standard 55. You can find here. Try to understand this. You see, sedentary work, hmm, light activity, moderate activity, heavy activity. These are activity of women. Okay. For example, if you are working in office, you can consider as light activity. Not in all the office. Suppose sitting and working in office, like we can consider like a light activity. Or in classroom, just sitting and listening the lecture, we can consider light activity. If you're doing some work, we can go for say moderate activity or heavy, etc. So we'll discuss this again at the time of heat gain through people at the time of load calculation in part 2 manual load calculation. At this level, this range and this activity as a set for human activity, and also you see summer clothing and winter clothing, the feeling comfort depend on the activity as well as the clothing and with respect to the temperature. So you see, for example, if the light activity, for say for example like office, the standard temperature you see 68 to 73 degree Fahrenheit or 20 to 23 degree centigrade. Okay, and you see this in centigrade, this is Fahrenheit, both are same but the different temperature scale. And you can notice for all this, for almost all the activity except one, you see 30 to 60, 30 to 60 RH. Here in summer clothing 40 to 60, because you see if you maintain 30% for summer clothing, you may feel dryness of skin. Anyhow, we'll discuss these points later. At this level, just memorize this table. The standard temperature is 76 for summer and 72 for winter for interview point of view, and RH is 50%. Apart from this, based on the activity, this temperature is given, and all this for human comfort, not for process control. I'm not talking about process control because you see this is Ashtray 55 is for human comfort standard, not for process control. Process control means, for example, if you take example of data center, like a server room, in that we are maintaining say 15 degrees centigrade, and 15 degrees centigrade for men means they will feel shivering. That is not for human, so that is different part. So at this level I'm talking about the human comfort. All this is related to human comfort only. Okay, Clear online?
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
So we are designing based on human comfort. We are not dealing with the other comfort like code rooms or
Mm-hmm.
like you said, data centers, how to cool
Uh,
the IT
mm,
equipment. So
no.
we are
Listen,
so
listen.
we
Listen, as I said at the beginning, it is not possible to cover all the application, and it's not possible to cover all the application as well as all the condition. That's the reason I'm focusing more on the concept. So once you know how to design, then what to design is the next question. And for what to design, I'll share you as application handbook. In that you'll find the different application and different requirement. So in this training program, you are going to learn how to design with, say, example, school project, office project, hotel project, etc. as per the syllabus. So that's the reason focus on the concept. Once you know the concept, once you know how to design, then what to design, you need to learn from Azure application handbook, means what are the requirement, and you can able to design. For example, if you know how to deal with the load calculation for office, and in that we are considering 76-degree Fahrenheit standard temperature. Same if you want to go for a data center, the temperature will change, say 15 degrees centigrade. So this values will change, but the concept is going to be same. So focus on the concept, because you see, if I try to cover all the application, this course is going to be more than or maybe more than 1 year, and it's not, and that much is not required also, because means all the application you are not going to design at a time. And after learning this training program, when you involve in actual practice, for each and every project you are going to learn the new things. But this training program is enough to get the job and to start the job. Again, in the job, as per the requirement, you need to study, you need to means involve, and then that's the reason in this building services experience is important. Okay, clear online?
yes, sir.
Next. So as per the syllabus, I'll cover all the points, don't worry. Next. So we'll try to understand what is HVAC. You see, in HVAC, first H stand for heating. You see, heating in air conditioning refers to the process of what? Raising the temperature of indoor air to provide warmth and comfort in what? Winter or colder condition. Right. So generally heating is required in winter, na? And how to provide the heating? By increasing the temperature. And how to increase the temperature? With a different system like resistance heater or a boiler, etc. That we'll discuss later. At this level, heating is what? Providing heat or increasing the temperature to maintain the standard temperature, or to increase the temperature in what? In winter condition or in cold condition. Okay, while air conditioning also focus on cooling, heating equally important to create the balance and comfortable indoor means year on AC. So this heating is for winter, and cooling is for what? Summer. Okay, so simply heating is what? Providing or increasing the temperature to maintain the comfort or standard temperature. For example, if the we are considering standard temperature is say 72-degree Fahrenheit in winter. If the temperature is less, say outside temperature is 65-degree Fahrenheit, so in that case we need to increase the temperature of the space now, because if the outside temperature is less, inside temperature is more, so heat will loss. So heat will loss from inside to outside. So to maintain that, we need to increase the temperature. Anyhow, that we'll discuss in detail at the time of load calculation, the entire concept. At this level, simply heating is what? Providing heat. And how to provide the heat? By using the furnace, boiler, heat pumps, etc. And that systems also you'll find in chapter 5 in air conditioning system. Okay, next. You see different options given, but don't worry, all the systems will cover in chapter 5. Okay. Yes, online?
I want to ask a question based on on the definition. Can you go back to the heating definition?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
You state that heating in air conditioning refer to the process of raising the temperature of indoor air to provide warmth and comfort in a colder condition, right?
Yes.
But as HAVC is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. So is it, I will be right to say that heating and ventilation is a subset of air conditioning?
Not only this ventilation, even this air conditioning. In this also you'll find the parameter. Okay, so this is just head is a part of HVAC. So increasing temperature, but we need to decrease the temperature also, you see, while air conditioning often focus on cooling. In general, we used to call HVAC. We are not calling this heating, cooling, or air conditioning. In air conditioning, we are using the term cooling. Okay, and don't worry, let me complete this HVAC, then you'll get the clear idea. Okay, so only heating is not enough. You need to think for the ventilation, another parameter also, which is very, very important for human comfort. Only heating will not help. If you provide only heating, what will happen? You'll feel a lot of suffocation if you not maintain the enough humidity. And you can feel that one. For example, if you just switch on the car AC, after few minutes you'll feel a lot of suffocation, so you need to introduce the fresher from outside. Introducing the fresher from outside will increase the humidity. I think you can able to relate my point. And again, humidity means that is related to this human comfort. Again, it's a part of ventilation. You're providing the air from outside to maintain that humidity, the one parameter. But don't worry, at this level, don't do the conclusion. Let me complete this. What is HVAC? Then we'll do the discussion. Because in this session, I'm going to cover only what is HVAC, means this part only. After that, we'll do the discussion. Clear online?
Fine. Yes, yes.
So next you see heating in short, just for entry point of view, remember increase the temperature to maintain the comfort condition in winter. In short, by using what furnace, boiler, heat pump, electrical resistance heater, radiant heating, etc. And all the systems we'll discuss in chapter 5. Okay, this is for information at this level. Next, ventilation, very, very important. So H is the heating and V is the ventilation. So any idea about the ventilation online? Yes. So what do you think? What is ventilation? You see,
Is improve the indoor quality.
yeah, in short, you can say ventilation is to maintain the quality of air. Okay. And don't get confused, even the exhaust system, like car parking, kitchen, or toilet exhaust system, that is also a part of ventilation. But at this level, I'm talking about ventilation related to the breathing area, means for human comfort. That applications are different, like car parking, kitchen, or exhaust systems, other exhaust, industrial exhaust system, that also a part of ventilation, but that is related to related specific requirement. But here, this ventilation, I'm talking about the breathing area for quality of air in general area. Or breathing area means like a bedroom, like a office cabin, etc. Okay. So you see, ventilation in HVAC refers to the process of exchanging indoor air with the fresh air. Or in short, I can say providing fresh air is the ventilation. But for what? Or from where, first of all? Providing fresh air from where? From outside air. But for example, you see, consider a space, a room, and I'm providing the outside air in this room. So what do you think? Outside air is a fresh air or a dirty air or contaminated air? Yes. You see, outside air in many areas, for example, here is a main road, so you'll find a lot of vehicles, or close to this house, there is an industry or whatever. So outside air, how we can say it's a fresh air? It's
It
a
is
mix with a
contaminated.
lot of contaminants, no? You'll find the pollution, you'll find a lot of contaminants. But we are considering this ventilation from outside as a fresh air. On what basis? So remember, we are talking about with respect to the oxygen level. So no doubt when you take the fresh air from outside, before supplying to the conditioned space, we are going to filter that to remove the contaminants, we are to remove the allergies or to remove the bad odors, smells, etc. But here we are talking about the fresh air with respect to the oxygen level. So remember, compared to the room air we are calling still air, and outside air we are calling moving air. So what do you think? The still air or moving air, which is more fresh? Yes, come on.
Moving air, of course.
Yes, moving air with respect to what?
With respect to
Still,
oxygen.
Yes, oxygen. So this is the important point. You see here, this oxygen level. So with respect to oxygen level, the outside air is 90% fresh compared with the room air, still air. Why? Because in this room, for example, 4%, suppose consider the office cabin and 4 employees in this. So what they will do? Definitely they will do the
Yeah.
office work because they are getting the salary. But apart from this, they will do the breathing. And breathing means what? Taking
Carbon
oxygen and releasing
dioxide. Yeah.
Yes, so releasing
Understand?
the CO2. So after some time, what will happen? The CO2 level increases and the oxygen level start decreasing. And after some time, if it is a closed room, and you can relate this when you close your bedroom for entire night and when you switch on the split AC without any interaction of fresh air in the morning, you'll feel heavy because you'll not get the enough oxygen for breathing. Okay, so remember, outside air is 90% fresh compared with the inside air because inside is a still air, and increasing the CO2 level because of the metabolic activity we are breathing, and we are releasing the CO2 with consumption of oxygen. So that's the reason providing fresh air is from outside. Okay, and as per ASHRAE, we used to call IAQ, internal indoor air quality. In short, we used to call IAQ, ASHRAE IAQ, like ASHRAE standard 62, 62.1, 62.2, etc. We'll discuss in the load calculation, all the standards. So remember, ventilation in short, providing fresh air from where? From outside. For what? To maintain the oxygen level. At this level, I'm talking about the breathing area, not for the exhaust system. Don't get confused if you already know the exhaust system. Exhaust system for kitchen is for different purpose. No, in that also we are taking the fresh air and we are removing that air out. But to exhaust that fumes and all, that purpose is different, but the process is almost same. But here for breathing area, we are providing the fresh air from outside air. For what? To maintain this oxygen level. And if you not provide this proper oxygen, you cannot breathe easy and you cannot focus. If you're working in office or if you're sleeping in your room, you cannot sleep easy. So that's the reason this is one of the major parameter to maintain for human comfort. If you are maintaining the temperature, that will not be enough. So you must maintain the proper oxygen level also, and for that reason ventilation is required. Or in other words, I can say, to maintain the quality of air, pressure is required. Okay, clear online?
Yes, sir.
Apart from this, you see, when you take this fresh air or outside air in, what will happen? You must exhaust some air outside now. For example, if I'm supplying say 300 CFM. If you're a beginner, if you don't know CFM, remember it's a cubic feet per minute. It's a flow rate of air, cubic feet per minute, volume with respect to time. Okay, or some amount of air I'm introducing inside this room. So that must be exhaust, no? Or else what will happen after some time? The positive pressure will develop, and the movement of air will decrease. Getting my point? So remember, when you
Yes, sir.
take
Yes,
the
sir.
fresh air in, the exhaust also required. And when you exhaust, what will happen? The foul smell, the excess humidity, the pollutant from the room be causing because of this paint or furniture's temperature, etc. That also will exhaust. So in short, ventilation is for providing the fresh air. The major reason is to maintain the oxygen level. Apart from this, to exhaust the foul smell given up by the internal components, etc. Internal components like paint, carpet, furniture, etc. Okay, in short, to maintain the quality of air. Clear online?
Clear.
So
Yes.
this is V in HVAC. Okay, and for that we have separate different standards like carrier standard, ASHRAE, CFC, etc. that you'll find in part 2 manual load calculation at the time of load calculation. Okay, next. So what I explained the same, you can read once after this session. Next, air conditioning. You see HV, then AC. So the definition of air conditioning may ask in interview also. So first of all, let me read this, then we'll try to understand. You see, it's a process of treating air in an internal environment. Till now, we are talking about the air conditioning for indoor. But now in modern world, you'll find the outdoor air conditioning also. I don't have experience in that, but I heard in last year only in Qatar they did the outdoor air conditioning. So the definition may change in future. At this level, it is a process of treating air in an internal environment in order to establish and maintain what required standards of, no doubt, the temperature. First you need to maintain the temperature. Second parameter, you see, RH, relative humidity. This is also very important. If you maintain less than the required or more than the required, that also affect to the human comfort. Less than the required means the dryness of skin or dryness of eyes, and the more than the required means you'll feel suffocation and a lot of sweat. The sweat will not extract by the air if the humidity is more than the required. Anyhow, this point again I'll explain in detail in chapter 4, don't worry. Next, cleanliness. Cleanliness also required. For that, we're using the filters. This is also one parameter. If you are supplying the fresh air from outside with the air contaminants, again that will cause allergies. So cleanliness by using the filter, and motion and distribution. This is also one a major parameter of air. And you see, if you talk about split system or window AC, you cannot expect this proper motion distribution. This can be achieved with the central air conditioning system using the diffuser grills, etc. For that, proper planning is required. That you'll find in chap part 4, air distribution and air terminals topic, inducting side part 4. Okay, so motion and distribution and the noise level. Okay, noise level also important for human comfort. So we are not maintaining the zero noise, because for human we require some white noise. Suppose if the noise is very less or less than say 30 decibel or less than that, again that also cause irritation, or that also call uneasiness. So we require some white noise. So as per standard, the noise you see less than 35 decibels, but it not mean that less than say 10 or 5, etc. So we have some limit, and that dB level also you'll find in A distribution and A terminal topic at the time of selecting the E terminals. Okay, so these are the parameter. If you maintain, sorry, if you establish and maintain this parameter, you can say air conditioning is done. So you see, temperature means not just heating, it can be a cooling also as per the season, right? Cooling or heating. So you need to maintain the temperature. If the temperature is more than the required, then you need to decrease the temperature. If less than the required, increase the temperature. So maintain the temperature. So heating or by heating or by cooling. Maintain relative humidity, cleanliness, motion and distribution, and noise level. If you establish this parameters and maintain this, then you can say air conditioning is done. And this definition is important for interview point of view. This is in general. As per ASHRAE, you see, air conditioning is defined as the process of treating air so as to control simultaneously the temperature, humidity, cleanliness, motion and distribution. Means the same thing in other words. Okay, or in other words I can say it's a condition of air in which the human mind should feel comfort. And when the human mind will feel comfort, if you maintain all these parameters, right? Suppose if you maintain all this parameter but the cleanliness is not in the room, then again that cause discomfort, or the motion and distribution is not there, so you'll find the in excessive draft or lower velocity levels, the moment of air decreases. So all these parameters is important to maintain the air conditioning. Okay, so this is about HVAC. Yes, online.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Johanna, you
Yes,
raised the
sir.
hand.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, you raised
Can
the hand.
I'm trying to figure out the difference between air conditioning and the ventilation.
Mhm.
Uh, yes, yes. Can you help me in a layman language so that
You see.
I see like
Mhm.
it's a ventilation is a subset of air conditioning.
Yeah, you see, with the ventilation only, we can maintain this cleanliness, and we can maintain this relative humidity. If you introduce the air from outside, with that we can maintain the relative humidity. But apart from this, oxygen level also required. Okay, so motion and this cleanliness, humidity again refers to the ventilation, right? So we don't require only air conditioning. We required air conditioning with ventilation. And without ventilation, if you just maintain all these parameters, again it's difficult, because if you everything is correct but you cannot breathe easy, means definitely that will feel discomfort, right?
Yes, sir.
But ventilation we are considering separate as we, because you'll find the separate exhaust system that also comes under ventilation. Okay, so that's the reason we are not keeping this in air conditioning, because in kitchen we require separate ventilation. The purpose of kitchen ventilation is different compared with this, not for maintaining oxygen level, that is to exhaust the fumes and heat from the cooking. Similarly, in toilet area, ventilation is required. That also comes under exhaust system to avoid to exhaust the foul smell. So we have a separate exhaust system. So that's the reason we are considering separate V in HVAC. Okay, because ventilation like kitchen, car parking, and kitchen this toilet, that also a responsibility of a HVAC engineer. So we used to call HVAC so that all the systems can cover. But if you talk about only air conditioning, in that also ventilation is mandatory. Okay.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. Any more questions online? You see, as a starting class is going to be a bit slow because some participants are beginner and some are new for the Zoom also. For them, 2 to 3 classes I'll go in very low limited speed. After that, I'll teach in a average speed so that I can cover to all the participants. Okay. Anyhow, in between, if you think that I'm somewhat fast, I'm somewhat slow, you can give the feedback. According to that, I can adjust my speed. Okay. Any questions online? Because if you are learning HVAC means you must know what is HVAC first. What I explained, and this can be an interview question also. So if you know this HVAC, then only we can think to start designing this HVAC system. No? So I think you got the clear idea about HVAC: heating, ventilating, and air conditioning. And what are the standards for ventilation? We'll discuss. We have a detailed topic and very important for interview point of view in part 2, manual load calculation, and the same will continue in part 3 in software load calculation. Okay. Now, if you talk about this application, as I said at the beginning, this HVAC is used in commercial, residential, or industrial, even in automobile. So you can find the list here. You see, residential buildings, commercial buildings, industrial facilities, hotels and healthcare, hotel and hospital, data centers. Some list is given, and I'll share you one application handbook, Astro application handbook. You'll find the list of application and the requirement that you need to study as per the requirement when you involve in the actual practice as per the project requirement. At this level, don't start that. I'll share you that stuff. Don't worry. But after getting some idea, at least for manual load calculation, you can start reading that one as per your required application. Anyhow, in the class, as I said, I'll cover office application, school application, and you'll find the hotel project, etc. You'll get a lot of experience with that also. But that you can keep as reference, the application handbook. You'll find n number of applications given in that, like even the plant room or clean room, all these applications is given. Okay. So you can go through once all this application, the list is given. You see clean room. Clean room is what? One example you can say pharmaceutical site where preparation of medicines or preparation of this electronic motherboards, or in as per concept, clean room means we are providing 100%, almost 100% fresh and clean air with the laminar flow. Like this, you'll find the different applications. So you need to understand the application. If you know the application, then you can design accordingly. How to design, as I said, I'll cover in this training program. Okay. Next, science societies we'll discuss in the next session. Any questions online? And if you are new to this, means if you not attend the previous class, if you have any questions, you can ask. Or if you not received the syllabus yet, just if you are in the group, just message me. I'll share. Or else, if you are not in the WhatsApp group, just message me on WhatsApp. I'm sharing the number.
Sir, I got a query.
Yes, please.
Yeah, as you said,
1 minute. I share my WhatsApp number. If you are not in the group, just message me. I'll add in the group so that the you can. I'll provide the admin number also. You can contact admin for registration. Yes, online.
yeah, sir. As are we gonna learn about the industrial HVAC system also?
No, you have not received the syllabus yet.
Yeah, I have received the syllabus,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
you said that we are gonna learn about the data center and all. It also involves the heat removal, no?
Yes, you see, that's the reason you see, I'm going to explain the concept. At the time of load calculation, I'll give you the complete concept. What are the possible source of heat gain? What are the possible source of heat loss in winter? With say office example. So I'm going to cover the concept, and it's not possible to cover the applications. It is difficult. Okay, so focus on the concept. With the concept, with the concept, which I'm going to explain in the class, and with the help of Ashtray application handbook, you can able to design your required application.
That
Okay,
means we get the clarity on a basic and
not just basic. You'll get the clarity of design, how to design, then what to design. I'll give you a simple example. Assume that you are a programmer, okay, software programmer. You know programming, okay, but you don't know the programming of a bank requirement, na? Or suppose if you want to develop a bank software, what you're going to do, first of all, you'll get the information from the bank people, what are their requirement. Based on that, you are going to develop that application. Similarly, if you want to develop a school program, then you need to get the information of that school requirement. Na? So you know programming, but what to program, that depends on application. So I'll teach you the programming, I'll teach you the design, but what to design, it's not possible to cover all the applications. It will take 1 year, more than 1 year. Okay, so that's the reason I'm covering some application like office, school, etc.
But
Okay,
it will help us to design the other aspect also.
definitely, definitely.
Once we learn the designing.
For example, I'll teach you in detail about load calculation. What are the possible sources? But in actual practice, in one space, you'll not get all the possible sources. So that says I design a separate sample project. In that, I'm going to cover all the possible source of heat gain. And with that, we'll complete the sample project. And once you know the possible source of heat gain, which is applicable as per your project, you can design. Okay,
Got
getting
it.
your point. So you see, HVC is a very big and if you talk about the application, so it is not possible for different application. I need to create a separate course for that, and that can be done, but after completing this only. Okay, so we have a plan to go for a separate courses for separate applications, but you see, after learning this course, very few people are asking for the specific thing, because I am providing the application handbook 2019 or 2023, which is latest available. So you need to read the requirement and you can able to design, but you need to spend some time. Okay, hope you're getting my point.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. You see, I'm just preparing the base for this, and after that, definitely you can able to deal with the different application. And dealing with the different application will take time. Okay. Yes, Mr. Kannan.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, we are talking about human comfort now,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if it is there is a room,
Mm-hmm.
me and my friend is staying.
Mm-hmm.
Why one person feel too much cooling, another person saying there is no cool like that? Why it is happening?
Because you see, he is eating a non-veg, more non-veg. And that is also one point. You see, if you are eating more calories, your body will generate more heat. So you may not feel comfort even in 18 degrees.
Okay.
One person will feel comfort at 20 degrees, but another people even in 18 also is not feeling comfort. So the main reason is how he is releasing the heat from his body. If he is eating more calorie food, then or if he's doing, suppose for example, if you're working in office, compare with working out in gym. Okay,
Yeah.
working out in gym means even with the lower temperature you'll feel hot because the body is producing more heat, na? So feeling
Yes, sir.
comfort depends on clothing, depend on the food, depend on the activity, etc. But don't worry, that we'll discuss in load calculation. Anyhow, good
Okay, sir.
question. Hmm. So try to do the dinner with that person with the same type of food. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Everyday PDF notes. Yeah, you see notes chapter 1 to 5 already provided. And when I start this part 2, I'll share you the part 2 notes. So part by part, I'll share you the notes and stuff. Don't worry. Mr. Khan, right? Yeah, so for registered candidate, already I share this chapter 1 to 5 notes and the stuff. And before starting part 2, I'll share part 2 notes and stuff. And similarly, before starting part 3, I'll share you part 3 notes and stuff like softwares, etc. So don't worry, I'll already have plan in a organized way. I'll share accordingly to avoid confusion. Okay. Monday to Thursday. Monday to Thursday, 10 to 11, or it can be up to 11:30 based on some questions or some topic. Okay. For almost 3 months. Any question related to this HVAC online? Okay then. So those who already registered, I believe you already get the notes, and those who not registered, please contact on the WhatsApp so that I'll provide the admin number. You can able to register. Okay then. Thank you. Done for the session. Tomorrow same time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.